That's the pregame show. Come on. This is going to be a massive day at 95.7 The Game. Warriors, back-to-back dubs for Dub Nation in Florida. Heat, night-night. Magic, night-night. As Stephen Curry hits the dagger three late in the fourth quarter yesterday to ice the game. Desperately needed Warriors victory. Giants, their season starts today out in San Diego. Not going to do the translation for you here, but you know the rest. Padres, Giants today, 1:10 first pitch, the scheduled time. By the way, again, San Diego State playing UConn in a rematch of last year's national championship game in the Sweet 16. So we've got NCAA action, tourney, Sweet 16. We got opening day, and we got, well, I guess we got to start here, don't we? We just have to.
Well, Draymond Green was ejected during the timeout because Fantasy Ransom and Ray Acosta, instead of being like an old school official and move away from the guy who's upset, no, they stayed close to him and kind of talked with him. And as a result, Draymond gets ejected 3 minutes and 36 seconds in.
Tim Roy on the call there, right here on 95.7 The Game, your home for Golden State Warriors basketball. You can catch each and every Golden State Warriors game, pre, post, all that. Again, right here, Evan Giddings doing a hell of a job last night, breaking it all down. So Warriors get the win. They move on to 38-34. They're going to take on I was almost going to say New Orleans Hornets, but the Charlotte Hornets coming up next for them on this road trip. They're now 2-1, having lost to Minnesota on Sunday, bounced back in a big way, and they remain one game ahead of the Houston Rockets, who, by the way, had a hell of a win last night, and one of their players is doing a little chit-chat, and we'll get that sound for you a little bit later. But I don't know if I'm a bench player on the Houston Rockets that I want to be going after the Warriors right now, who all of a sudden have some life. Again, one game ahead of Houston for that crucial and final spot in the play-in tournament, that 10th seed. So 38-34 for the Warriors. Lakers, they get the win last night, so they stay 2.5 games up above the Golden State Warriors. Lakers, they've won 5 in a row. They're the hottest team in the Western Conference, currently not named the Houston Rockets. So you're sandwiched in between the two hottest teams in the league right now. But just keep playing your basketball if you're the Warriors. And that's hard to do when you don't have Draymond Green. And that was such a crucial win that I hate to have to start off this show talking about Draymond, because you know what? I wanted to give Andrew Wiggins, a little bit of love. Now, can he keep it going? That's the name of the game for Andrew Wiggins, the consistency. But 23 points yesterday, 6 boards, and assist, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. He was getting to the free throw line. And that is what they need. They desperately need Andrew Wiggins to have a string of games, not just one and then off, one and then off, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. He can't be doing the cha-cha out there, all right? It just can't be happening. And in a night where Stephen Curry just seemed lost offensively, clank after clank after clank, and while his shot wasn't going, he was racking up those assist numbers. Maybe working with Chris Paul all season has helped Steph Curry later in his career. Guy turned into Magic Johnson out there for a hot second. 10 assists for Stephen Curry, 17 points there. Again, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc, 6 of 18 overall. Not his greatest shooting performance, but that was a gritty win. It was an ugly win. Shout out Brad Gilbert, winning ugly. But you'd rather have an ugly win than a pretty loss. And that was the name of the game last night for the Golden State Warriors. But again, it's overshadowed by one man and one man only. And it is what it is at this point with Draymond Green. He never learned his lesson. Come on. Guy missed all that time, showed no remorse. He's going at players still. He's going at refs. And I didn't expect him to change. Like, did you really? I heard Mark Willard, I think it was a week ago today now, And I'm not crushing Mark here. I'm not, attacking him or anything, but he had a take where he basically said he's seen a lot of growth in Draymond Green since coming back from the suspension, the indefinite suspension. He's seen a lot of growth from Draymond Green. Really? Like, he's still great when he's on the floor, but that wasn't the problem. His play on the court has been fine. It's been more than good. It's been great. Shout out Tony the Tiger. But it's all the other stuff. And again, last night, less than 4 minutes into the game, you're missing your best defensive player. Oh, by the way, Jonathan Kuminga was also out. Now, it helps when the Orlando Magic look like an NCAA bracket team more than an NBA team when they're shooting. My God. That was Brick City last night. Ugh. Paolo Banchero, I love you. Paisan, but 5 of 17 for him. Bonte wasn't lying yesterday when he was saying how bad this offense was. I was just watching that game. How are the Orlando Magic a 5th seed? Good Lord. But they are. In the Eastern Conference, as I've been saying, it's doo-doo sauce. It's the Boston Celtics and a bag of chips. Yeah, that includes the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't think much of them either right now. But I heard Tim on the call there, and I want to replay it because I disagree with him right here.
Well, Draymond Green was ejected during the timeout because fantasy ransom and Ray Acosta, instead of being like an old school official and move away from the guy who's upset, no, they stayed close to him and kind of talked with him. And as a result, Draymond gets ejected 3 minutes and 36 seconds in.
Tim, I love you, but you're also enabling Draymond Green in that situation, in his behavior. The ref doesn't need to move away. The player needs to move away. Why do you think Stephen Curry walked up to him? Why do you think all the other coaching staff and other players try to get in between them? It is not incumbent on the referee to remove himself from the situation. He's the judge and jury on the floor. Whether we like it or not, that's just how it is. He doesn't have to move away. And no, was he baiting Draymond Green? No. Draymond was being Draymond. He has not earned the benefit of the doubt, and he's never going to. So when Tim said there, like, hey, the official needs to move away, hell no. Draymond, get out of the way. But it was a gutsy win nonetheless. And that's what we should be talking about today. A crucial win, because if they don't win that game, they're tied with the Houston Rockets. And I don't like their chances next week against them. Hell, I still might not. The Rockets have won 10 straight, man. That team is looking good. Jalen Green? Are you kidding me? That guy is a problem. Dylan Brooks, we laugh at him. Still a hell of a defensive player. Freddie Van Vliet, I just like saying his name. It's one of the coolest names in sports. Yeah, we remember 2019 NBA Finals. He's a killer. Steve Kerr talking about the gutsy win.
It was a gutsy effort, in tough circumstances, back to back, losing Draymond early. The guys just competed for 48, and obviously we need every game we can get right now, so that's why everybody was pretty emotional.
Very emotional there. Did I see tears from Stephen Curry yesterday? I saw his eyes getting watery. I was like, and I saw him kick the chair late. I was like, wow, after the win. Angry Stephen Curry. I haven't seen angry Stephen Curry since post-NBA bubble, that first season, when it was limited capacity and the crowd was at 2021. And he was just angry and he didn't have Klay Thompson. I haven't seen that much emotion since then. Obviously, winning the NBA title, you're going to show a lot, but that was anger, frustration, relief. It was a lot rolled into one. And enough of me talking about his emotions. Let the man himself talk about them.
Yeah, we know how important the season is, or this part of the season is, and our ability to get into a rhythm and secure a playing opportunity and give ourselves a shot. We don't want to have self-inflicted wounds when it comes to that. We all care. We all are passionate about the game and our chances to have something to play for down the stretch. So you give everything you got to this game, and that's the emotion.
That's the emotion. You heard it right there from Stephen Curry, 888-957-9570. Are we blaming the referee in this situation or Draymond Green? Let's go out to Vernon in Oakland. He has some thoughts on the situation. Draymond Green ejected less than 4 minutes into last night's Golden State Warriors win over the Orlando Magic. What's going on, Vernon? You're on the pregame show with Joe Spadoni.
Hey, good morning. I have to agree with Tim Roy on that call because I'm like Tim Roy. I've been watching the NBA since the 70s, and I've just noticed over the last few years, these referees are a lot more confrontational. Draymond was on his way back to the locker room and the bench area, and that guy did a beeline straight over there and teched him. I find that just appalling. The referees don't need to show that type of power, and it's across all sports. I see it in Little League Baseball. I see it in college baseball. I see it in college basketball. I see it in the NBA now.
Vernon, real quick. I'm going to let you finish real quick. Yeah. You don't think Draymond did anything wrong last night?
No, Draymond is always over the top.
Okay.
But just like Tim Roy said, I used to watch these refs just turn their back, walk away, let the guys cool off, let the players take over and cool the player off. No need for a referee to just run on somebody's coattail. That is just power tripping, period.
Okay. That's Vernon in Oakland. Completely disagree. Appreciate your call, Vernon. 888-957-9570 if you agree with Vernon's take or not. I just vehemently disagree with that take. Draymond Green is the guy that was indefinitely suspended. Draymond Green is the one that said he learned something. Draymond Green said this was the most important season of his career. And he's out there less than 4 minutes into a basketball game on the back end of a back-to-back in a game in which you don't have Jonathan Kuminga. A game in which you desperately need to win to keep pace, to stay in the play-in game. And you're getting ejected because you can't help but yell at an official because you disagreed with the call. I don't care if the ref was sitting next to him on the bench. I thought you learned. I thought there was growth. Apparently not. Not that I ever believed him. And I'm not here to say, and because I know how this conversation is going to go, because it's been the same conversation with Draymond Green for the past couple years now. Well, they don't win those titles without him. What do you want, Spadone? Great. Stupendous. I'm not saying his play on the court is bad or they don't need him to win a title. They do. They are not winning a championship without Draymond Green if they hope to do that ever again. And right now, they're just hoping to stay in the damn play-in spot. Like, I'm used to Draymond Green doing this when he knows Stephen Curry's not in there, because that's what he does. He could take the night off if Steph's not there. Oh, his guy's not there? I don't need to be here either. So that's why I was shocked when Stephen Curry was playing and he got bounced within the first 4 minutes. Stephen Curry tried to get in the way. But you know what? I need Steph to be more vocal in those situations too. Maybe that's why he was so pissed off and had so much emotion. He was bottling all of it up. All that frustration he had towards Draymond Green. But he didn't want to release it towards him. Here's more from Steph talking about the Draymond ejection.
All I say is we need him. He knows that. We all know that. So whatever it takes to keep him on the floor and be available, that's what's got to happen, especially at this point in the year. So it's a tough way to start the game, but I am extremely proud of every single person that stepped foot on the floor tonight and responded the way that they did, because back-to-back, the team as physical as they are, we got contributions from everybody, and it was a beautiful team effort to respond the way that we did and get this win, because we went and took it, and that's a big sign for us, a sign of growth to be able to respond that way.
Big sign of growth. Do you hear him talking, though? Does he sound happy about that win? Honestly. And I know Stephen Curry's very calm, cool, collected. Like, you're going to ask a guy that's a 4-time champion, top 10 player of all time, are you happy about a win against Orlando Magic while you're still just a game ahead in the 10th play-in spot? No. He's not satisfied with that. But that was a hell of a win for some of his teammates who have desperately struggled this season. Andrew Wiggins and Moses Moody. Those two guys were instrumental in that win. They were massive. Moody getting and ones. Moody hitting clutch threes. Check that. Did not hit the clutch three. Got the and one. Made some defensive plays. But Andrew Wiggins hitting clutch threes. His shot wasn't there for Moses Moody. 4 of 9 overall. Again, 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. But his liveliness defensively, the ball handling, the distribution, he got a couple of assists last night. That's what it looks like to fight through adversity. So I'd much rather be highlighting Moses Moody and Andrew Wiggins today in Draymond's absence. But the fact that you needed to rely on those guys who have struggled so much, that's tough, especially without Jonathan Kuminga. But they won the game. Winning ugly again. And speaking of Moses Moody, let's hear from him on staying ready when he was called upon.
It's that, just staying prepared, getting the games in on off days, just trying to find that rhythm, trying to find that flow. It can be challenging, not knowing how long you playing, not knowing when you playing, but the situation is what it is, so you got to find a way.
Got to find a way. More from Moses talking about locking in defensively.
Yeah, that's definitely an emphasis that we have right now. Defense gets the job done. We got some of the best offensive players in the game, so just make sure we and everybody, them and everybody else, is locking in on the defensive end because the offense going to come.
888-957-9570. Warriors' massive win last night, but what's the storyline? Is Draymond Green getting ejected, or is the Warriors getting back-to-back wins? Or is it a little bit of both? I mean, you can't not talk about Draymond Green. I don't care if everyone's going to be texting in today, focus on the win, not Draymond. You can't not. 4 minutes into the game, less than 4 minutes. He's getting ejected. And then he's tweeting right after the game. This guy. And Joe Shasty's blowing me up right now. He has some thoughts on this, and I cannot wait for the morning roast. He might even storm into this and talk about it. That's how fired up he is about this topic. And Evan Giddings, yesterday, did a hell of a job. He made a great point. Love me some E-Dog. I gave him that nickname, by the way. Let it be known. But he's like, is Draymond Green really about to overshadow opening day in MLB? On this station, Giants, Padres. And I would say, probably. But you know what? He's always listening. He's always listening. We know that. Oh, we know that's for damn sure. Don't we?
Shocked you talking to me. It's always a fun game.
There you go. Always a fun game indeed. Especially when I'm not playing in it and my teammates can step up in my absence. 888-957-9570. Good morning to all you lovely people. Just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for school. It's wet out there. Please be safe on those roadways. It has been raining. It just won't stop. It won't. I can't get a week without rain. It is what it is. I'm just going to have to deal with it, I guess. I just want to take my kids to the park again. Can't do that. First world problems, I guess. From the Comcast Business text line, 510. Steph kicked a chair then, too. There you go. The emotion that Stephen Curry showed last night was very fascinating. That was the most emotion I've seen from him, like anger in a win. Like, you don't see that from Stephen Curry. I see that with players like MJ, like Kobe, but I've always thought Stephen Curry, was more of that Tim Duncan mold. Calm, cool, collected, nothing bothers him. Right? Yesterday, he was Dude, he was doing that night all across the court after he hit that three-pointer. Part of me feels like some of that was directed at his teammate, Draymond Green. Now, the picture in the hallway of Draymond Green. He's hugging Steph with that ass-eating grin on his face like, oh my God. He knew exactly where the camera was. It was just...
Absolutely incredible.
Thank you for finding the words for me. I needed it. Like, it is what it is at this point. I'm exhausted talking about Draymond Green. It's exhausting. But we're going to keep doing it because he's a polarizing figure. Is the flagship or the Golden State Warriors station. That's what we do. He is a Hall of Famer. He is a vital part, and he is a Bay Area sports legend. And that is why we're going to talk about him because, as everyone else has said on the team, he is the heartbeat and soul. He is the leader defensively. And he is the emotional leader. Now, is that good? Oh, it was when you've won 4 titles. Is it still good going forward? Judging by this season, I'd question that, personally. 510. Sorry, Vernon. Draymond is a marked man. He has been for years and should know better. Not that he's a marked man, because that makes it out, and thank you, 510 on the Comcast Business text line. That makes it out like the league is out to get him, which is totally false. I actually think he's gotten a lot of leeway since coming back because refs don't want to be the guy to have to eject him. Because he's already been indefinitely suspended. If he gets another strike, right, then, he could be gone for the rest of the season potentially. They don't want to have to be the guy to do that. They don't want the anger and vitriol of the entire league or specifically the Golden State Warriors fan base because, to be honest, I don't think the entire league outside of the Warriors care what happens to Draymond Green going forward, just to keep it a buck. I think most people would rather see him get suspended for the rest of the year, and I wouldn't like that because this team is, again, playing well right now as of late. 2 games. We'll see how that lasts. They have 2 winnable opportunities coming up against Charlotte and San Antonio. But the league is not out to get him. That narrative needs to stop. Draymond Green is out to get them. If anything, he is fishing. He toes the line constantly. And then when it eventually goes too far, the ref should have gotten out of the way. The ref needs to remove himself. The ref was going to the scorer's table. He was not chasing after the guy. Like, you're acting like he was all up in his face, like Lance Stevenson blowing on LeBron James's face. Come on. The act has gone tired. 925, Comcast Business text line. Please get rid of Draymond. The Warriors are a circus. I'm getting a lot of, can we get rid of Draymond's? And a lot of, this is what it is. And it's, honestly, it is what it is. They gave him the contract. I don't know what to tell you. They still believe in him. Joe Lacob loves him. Stephen Curry loves him. Although yesterday, for the first time, I saw something from Stephen Curry that says he's tired of it. But after the game, what does he do? Draymond Green hugs him. Like, it's all just, like you said, Comcast Business text line, kind of a circus. This Golden State Warriors season has been a circus. Makes us laugh, makes us cry. Although, are circuses make you cry at all? I don't know. The sad clown stuff. Dumbo, that was sad. More from the head coach, Steve Kerr, after last night, talking about Andrew Wiggins.
Wiggs was fantastic. Just stepped up and made one big play after another at both ends. Had the big block near the end on Wagner. Made big shots, got to the line, attacked. Yeah, Wiggs was fantastic.
888-957-9570. Call or text your thoughts on the Golden State Warriors win, Draymond Green's ejection, Andrew Wiggins' performance, Moses Moody, Stephen Curry showing the most emotion I've seen in a regular season game, maybe ever. kicking a chair after the win, night, up and down the floor. A lot of emotion going on this season. And I get it. They have dealt with a lot in real life stuff. The death of a coach, going through that, witnessing that at a team dinner. Then on the floor, the Draymond Green saga, as we're calling it, as I'm calling the Shohei Ohtani gambling story a saga. The Draymond Green one has been a saga. Shout out Dragon Ball Z. Majin Buu or Cell saga for me. Oh, the Garlic Jr., I know it's not a saga, it's like a short movie. It's up there for me as well. We're up against it, 888-957-9570. More of your calls, more of your texts on the other side. You can also hit us up on Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Go ahead and search 95.7 The Game. Like and subscribe there. We are streaming all day long, 5 a.m. through 7 p.m. right here on 95.7 The Game. More Warriors on the other side and the Giants opening day. It's opening day in baseball. We're talking Draymond Green on 95.7 The Game.
I feel good.
Dad, are you singing to your cereal?
Yes, I am, like I knew that I would.
No, a dance too?
Come on.
Welcome back. Pregame show, Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. Warriors 101, Magic 93. Draymond Green ejected less than 4 minutes into the game. And here's what the head coach, Steve Kerr, had to say about it last night.
He deserved it.
There you go. I just like the drop. Here's the entire thing.
Too bad. It was unfortunate. He deserved it. He'll bounce back. I'm just proud of the guys for stepping up. Moses came off the bench, had a big game for us. Guy made a big three. Gary was fantastic. So we had guys step up, and that's what it takes.
There you go. The head coach even thought he deserved it. So, miss me with the ref was getting in his grill and the ref should have stepped away. God, stop enabling this guy and this behavior. Steel toe, San Mateo. He wants to talk about a guy that we should be talking about. What's going on, Steel toe?
Thank you, Spadoni. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a question because, watching the Warriors and listening to the Warriors on the radio, sometimes it just confuses me, especially the way kind of Steve Kerr talks about fundamentals and stuff like. I wonder if Wiggins could be a more effective scorer in the paint without Draymond Green being like inept scorer there. He never really, Steve Kerr never really allows Trey Davis to play with other scorers. Steve Kerr never really put 4 or 5 scores really together, develop chemistry. I don't know. Would Wiggins be better with somebody else than Draymond? Thank you.
Thank you. That's Steel Toe out in Oakland. 888-957-9570, the number. You can call or text there. You can also hit us up on Twitch and YouTube. Good morning to all of you. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. We are streaming. It is opening day in baseball. Giants taking on the San Diego Padres. 1 o'clock today in San Diego. Can't wait. It's opening day. We're talking Draymond Green. We're talking Andrew Wiggins. But a good Andrew Wiggins. And a good Moses Moody yesterday. And a much-needed victory for the Golden State Warriors, who, again, are clinging to the 10th spot. But do I think Andrew Wiggins can benefit with more scores around him? Andrew Wiggins just needs to have some shots go in early on in the game. And he just needs to keep attacking. I think it's all just a mindset for Andrew Wiggins. And I will say Draymond's ability, again, when he's on the floor, to pass and create for others is great. And Trayce Jackson-Davis, while young, has shown the ability to be a productive scorer and rebounder. But it's all on Andrew Wiggins. I don't know if it's so much playing with Draymond, playing with Trayce Jackson-Davis. It's all about having an aggressive mindset for Andrew, because far too often when I watch him play, he fades it in, and he fades it out, and he fades in, and he fades out. It's all mindset for him going forward. I truly believe that. JJ is out in San Jose. He wants to join in the conversation. 888-957-9570. What's going on, JJ? You're on the pregame show, Joe Spadoni.
Hey, what's up, Spadoni? Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, that was a heck of a game for the Warriors, especially Wiggins. I couldn't help, but when I was watching Wiggins ball out, I was thinking of the Guru. That was a game for the Guru. I'm sure he'll be hyped up today. But with Draymond, man, you're right, Spadon. We need to stop enabling this guy. And it sounds like nobody saw that when he stepped on the ref's foot when he's trying to negotiate or whatever, and he should have stomped on his foot. Bam, and the ref teed him up right away. And then he's like, "What are you doing? Why'd you tee me up?" We're over this guy, man. Seriously, Steph cried on the floor, man, because that's how fed up Steph Curry is, crying on the actual basketball floor with anger and frustration. Come on, man, get rid of this guy.
That's JJ in San Jose. I think JJ is like a lot of Warriors fans right now. They're fed up. You can get away with that stuff when you're winning. This team on March 28th beat the Orlando Magic And it was one of their biggest wins of the year because they're just staying a game ahead of the Houston Rockets for the 10th spot. The 10th spot. This isn't a championship season. And it's not going to be. And Draymond Green is a part of that reason why. He was a big part of it early on in the season, and it's a main factor of why they're even in the 10th spot. Maybe, just maybe, if he didn't get indefinitely suspended and he focused more on the basketball floor than at officials, the Warriors wouldn't have to be clinging to these wins and piling everything on Stephen Curry. And by the way, Stephen Curry's feeling it. He is. That was not a good game yesterday. Steph has not been shooting particularly well as of late. Go back the last few games. Just his field goal attempts and makes. 6 of 18, 7 of 15, 9 of 21, 9 of 24, 5 of 9, 8 of 20. Again, post-injury, but he's also feeling the burden of having to carry this team. And he had to be the emotional leader on the court last night because their emotional leader was gone again within the first 4 minutes. And he showed that emotion and anger and frustration. Not only with Draymond Green, but his own level of play. And kudos again to guys stepping up around him that need to be more consistent. But at least for last night, they showed up in Andrew Wiggins and Moses Moody. And I say that more to Wiggins than Moody because Moody, it's in and out of playing time, not even playing. Like, I expect more out of Wiggins than I do Moody, but it was refreshing to see both. It was honestly refreshing. Speaking of Moses Moody, let's hear from the guy on Curry sharing the ball when he is struggling.
I mean, for one, that just shows how amazing of a player he is. You know, as a shooter, sometimes shots don't fall, but to be able to still have so much control over the game, even with the fear of his shot, and then even knocking down the shot at the end, it says a lot about the player that he is. But yeah, it does show trust and confidence and me and the other guys when they do take that approach and move the ball around, and we get the job done that way. Wiggs had a great game. That's who really took over in the fourth.
510 on the Comcast Biz text line. Don't fall for the okie doke. This run is fool's gold. I don't know if I can consider this a run yet. They just got to get into the play-in game. What run? I mean, the Houston Rockets are on a run right now. They've won 10 in a row. They're feeling it. What do the Rockets got coming up here? That was a massive win for them in overtime yesterday against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Rockets Jazz tomorrow. Rockets Mavs, then the Timberwolves, then the Warriors. This is a massive game. So if they take care of business against Utah, which they probably should, but a little elevation in Utah, it's on the road. Then on the road, then back at home, I should say, against Dallas on Sunday. It's gonna be tough. Little in-state rivalry there. T-Wolves. And then back at home against the Warriors. It's a massive stretch for them coming up. That's going to separate the men from the boys here. And for the Golden State Warriors, they've got Hornets tomorrow. You can hear that right here on 95.7 The Game. Tip off at 4. Spurs Sunday. Then back at home for Dallas. On the road again for Houston. Dallas again. And then back at home against Utah. Next Sunday. It's getting tight here. And it's getting exciting, and I wish we could just talk about their level of play right now. Because that was gutsy last night. That was the definition of gut. That wasn't gutless, like we used to say. That was gutsy. It was impressive, and I think they'll win 2 more in a row to finish 4-1 on this road trip. And then maybe you can talk about going on a run. What does a run look like? Just get to a first-round series, if anything. Then we can talk about what a run could look like. 888-957-9570. It's the pregame show, Joe Spadoni. We'll wrap up this conversation on the other side. Do a little preview of the Giants season. It is opening day in baseball. Sweet 16. We got a rematch of last year's national championship game between San Diego State and UConn. Fired up about that. And I'm fired up with you on 95.7 The Game.
Founded in 1964, Fremont Bank understands the difference 60 years can make.
shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Dub Nation, this is Tim Roy, and you're listening to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Let's try that again. It's all right. Flags happen. Flag on the play. False start. 5 yards. There we go. Back it up. If that happened in radio, you get like flagged for false starts and stuff. You actually have to stay an extra 5 minutes. It'd be so bad. Although I do love talking to all of you. I do. Because we got the best looking listeners in the Bay. All across the world. It's not even close. Like, I don't even need to see their faces. I just know by them hitting me up on YouTube or the Comcast Business text line that they're just beautiful people. I can feel it through the keyboard, through the screen. I know it. Good morning to all of you. Just getting off work, getting ready for school, getting ready to drive around. Please be safe. It is slick and wet out there. Shout out John Bon Jovi, slippery when wet. 510, Comcast Business text line. I think the Rockets just might take the Dubs lunch money. We'll see. They're doing some chatting already. The Houston Rockets, that they are. They're doing some chatting. Warriors just need to stack wins. They've done that now. They've won 2 in a row against a undermanned Heat team, but you got to win that nonetheless. It's a tough opponent. And an Orlando Magic team that was coming off a lot of rest, and they looked rusty. Although they are not a great shooting team to begin with, and it was Brick City yesterday. And there was bricks being thrown by Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson. Was not their greatest games. But Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody, Gary Payton. It was massive. It was a team win yesterday in a game where you lost your team's emotional, quote unquote, leader in Draymond Green within the first 4 minutes. So, can they go on a run? Will they go on a run? That's a conversation that can start when they beat Charlotte and when they beat San Antonio, which they should. But we've said it a lot this year. They should win this game. They should win that game. I'm not saying that anymore. They don't deserve that word right now. They should win this. They should win that. They haven't earned that. That is reserved for a Boston, a Denver, teams like that. Not the Warriors. They will get what they deserve. And they deserved to win last night, and they deserved to win the night before that. 888-957-9570. We can continue to take your calls and text regarding that. Giants taking on the San Diego Padres today. Logan Webb versus Darvish, Sammy? Thumbs up? Oh, he's locked in. He's doing garlic fries and baseball guy stuff. I can look that up right now. Giants, Padres, pitching, matchup. I would assume that. But, don't assume. I was right. Just because, of course, I am. Then you got Kyle Harrison, Joe Musgrove on the bump tomorrow. I'm excited for Kyle Harrison. I might want to sprinkle a little cash on him when Rookie of the Year. I know might not happen, just a little bit. His odds are pretty good right now if I wanted to get a nice return. Then you got Jordan Hicks v. Dylan Cease. And then to wrap it up, we don't know. All before heading to Los Angeles next Monday, which is April Fool's Day. Also, my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Marianne. Early birthday. Yes. She got a lot of pranks on her birthday. Her siblings used to give her gifts with nothing inside them and say April Fools. That's so mean. Oh my God. Gotta respect it though. As one of 10 and having 9 siblings, you gotta troll your siblings as best you can. 650 Comcast Business text line. Spadone! We are nearly 50% with or without Dre. So maybe this was addition by subtraction. If he fired the guys up, question mark. Addition by subtraction, kinda. Bonte and Chasky and I were talking about it off air just a second ago, and Bonte and Chasky are going to be hopping on here about 8 minutes. They have some thoughts, obviously, on the win and on Draymond Green. Andrew Wiggins, if they get him and that level of play, they're just a different team. But we were talking about the spacing on the floor opening up without that black hole on the court sucking in everything being Draymond Green, because no one respects him offensively as a shooter. Have him off the court, got Trace Jackson Davis in there, a high flyer, guy could run. It changes things. And you saw a more aggressive Andrew Wiggins. Saw a sick dunk by him yesterday too. But that's what they're missing. Aggression out of these guys. No hesitations. When you have to think about something, you're going to fumble real quick. Whether that's on air and you have a take and you're not sure of it, whether that's on the court and it's a quick pass, shoot a three, quick hesitation. No, can't think. Just got to go. And I think that's the key for Andrew Wiggins. Get out of his own head, remove everything that's been going on. And it's easier said than done. I get that. It's very difficult to separate real life from work. But the best of the best can do that. I look at guys, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, LeBron, Steph, all these guys. And we've known scandals with all of them. Scandals, quote unquote, but, stuff happening off the floor with them, whether it's in their families or personal life, whatever. You gotta isolate that. You can't let it distract you. Now, it's easier said than done. Andrew Wiggins is dealing with something very personal to him, and it's a medical issue. That's all we know. But he changes the game when he is on and when he is aggressive. That much we do know. So if he could harness that game to game and be consistent, then the Warriors can be consistent and go on a run. Wiggins' consistency equals Warriors run to me. It's as simple as that. 888-957-9570, the number. From the Comcast Business text line, 650, and I knew we were going to get this, and I said this with the first couple minutes. They don't have one championship without Dre. He plays with the fire all the time. Great. Congratulations. Are they winning a championship this year without him? No. I'm not talking about his play on the court. I'm talking about all the other crap that gets involved. When he is on the court, it is not a problem. It's when a call doesn't go his way and he gets grumpy and he acts like a 12-year-old playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 circa 2009. And he's berating officials left and right. You can't say the stuff he's saying without getting ejected. Just listen to Steve Kerr again, talking about it after the game yesterday.
Too bad. It was unfortunate. He deserved it. He'll bounce back. I'm just proud of the guys for stepping up. Moses came off the bench, had a big game for us. Guy made a big three. Gary was fantastic. So we had guys step up, and that's what it takes. He deserved it. He deserved it. He deserved it.
There you go. It's our head coach, Steve Kerr. Guy knows a thing or two about difficult teammates. His most famous and the greatest player in the history of the sport punched him. So he knows a thing or two about that. It was in the chest, it's different, the chest, not the face. But he knows being on the receiving end of stuff like that. $925. Was nice to hear the call on 95.7 The Game. Wiggins with the two-hand jam for the elevation sensation. Was almost as if he forgot he could fly. I love that take. It was almost like he forgot he could fly. It's kind of poetic. That's beautiful. Is that Shakespeare? Is that Edgar Allan Poe? Marcus Aurelius? Sun Tzu? Huh. Oh, what it was. It's almost like he forgot he could fly. That's beautiful. I'm getting teared up like Stephen Curry. I'm a hopeless romantic when it comes to that stuff. But I was listening to that call. Again, the great Tim Roy. And I disagreed with Tim at the top. He thought the official was lingering, getting in his face. I completely disagreed. I thought the ref was being more than forgiving with Draymond, letting a lot of the expletives go until it was too much, until he said, bye-bye. He said, bye-bye. I'm trying to look for my Draymond go bye-bye drop because we used that thing ad nauseum when he was indefinitely suspended. I can't find it. That's all right. 888-957-9570. 925, quality take in Call of Duty. Search and destroy. I was a big search and destroy guy, Call of Duty. Team deathmatch and search and destroy is pretty much all I did. I wasn't really into capture the flag or any of the other stuff. But search and destroy was my S. And going back to the OG Modern Warfare, I think I remember the perks I had too. And I'm going way in depth here. You go Juggernaut, you go Deep Impact, and then whatever the one is where you died and a grenade would just drop, that was so OP. And thank you. You're clapping listening to the radio. That's all I needed today. I got a standing ovation from the Comcast Business text line. I love Comcast. They've always done me right. I've had Comcast forever now. And I'm going to be watching Comcast when I watch the San Francisco Giants take on the San Diego Padres tonight. My predictions for the season? Giants make the playoffs. I'll leave it at that. Giants are a playoff team. Oh, you got to have a hotter take than that, Joe. Hotter take than that? Logan Webb wins the Cy Young. Is that a hot take? I don't even think that's a hot take. Again, I've said they have the best 1-2 punch outside of Atlanta in the National League. And they might even surpass that. I wouldn't be surprised. Speaking of surprises, there's always surprises in store at the Morning Roast. They're up next. Have a good morning, everyone.
Have you tried Farmers Brewing yet? If not, it's time you put your lips on a farmer. From sunup to sundown, we're working hard to create beers from our own